Look, I have to say a huge thank you to His Excellency the Ambassador. Thank you so much for those words, Arthur. That's really very much appreciated and very true. I reiterate everything that you said. So look, thank you so much to everyone for joining us today to celebrate the opening of this factory, which is our biggest factory globally, right here in Lebanon, which I've learnt to say, Tennessee. To everyone who made today possible, an absolutely huge thank you, particularly our project team. Hopefully I can see them around, Danny Bartel and Robert Bruce, if you can raise your hands. Thank you so much, guys. I know Danny was wiping the sweat from his brow this morning. I saw a forklift moving straw out there this morning, so thank you, Danny. It's very, very much appreciated. You've done an amazing job. To our plant director, Jeff Moore. Jeff, can you raise your hand if you're in the room? We've got Jeff. No, he's probably actually out there working in the factory on the tours, but Jeff and his team doing a phenomenal job. We were very lucky to secure Jeff. We were actually competing for Jeff with one of our directors who's become the CEO of Lordstown, Edward Hightower, and Jeff happened to be a Lebanon local, so he was attracted to come to Tritium, so we were very, very lucky to get Jeff. Their boss, our COO, Glenn Casey, over to the left there, Glenn. Thank you for everything out from Brisbane today. Glenn has worked incredibly hard also to make this happen, as well as our absolutely wonderfully supportive landlord, Jeff Peterson. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff was actually out helping us yesterday at Home Depot buying those pretty plants that you saw out the front there, so nothing is too much for Jeff. And also to Jack Ulrich, our marketing lead here at the front. Jack has an amazing eye for detail, which was evident when we were at the White House, and it's evident today here. So thanks so much, Jack. It's very much appreciated. As Commissioner McWhorter mentioned, we would like to officially welcome His Excellency, the Ambassador from Australia to the United States, based in DC, Arthur Sinodinos. Arthur, thank you so much for joining us here today, as well as Senator Mark Pody, Lebanon City Mayor Rick Bell. I met Rick before. Thank you so much, Rick, for being here. County Mayor Hutto, who I believe is here as well. Have we got the County Mayor? Thank you so much for joining us. As well as our Queensland Trade and Investment Commissioner, Vicky Forrest. Vicky is one of the only people who made it today from New York. So we had a number of people who just couldn't get out of New York, 3 to 4 hour flight delays. So Vicky, thank you for persisting for 3 or 4 hours to get down here. And also we've got a number of members of the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce who are going to help us with the ribbon cutting. So thank you for being here today. And we're very honoured to celebrate this opening with all of you. And we thank you for making the effort to come here to join us. Now, we also do want to welcome the Tennessee government, state and federal department officials who are here from the TVA and other departments, Kevin and Tracy, who are here from Cigna, and Eric from Bearings, who are our debt providers, as well as Tritium's customers. Thank you so much. You're the reason that we're here today. Your trust in us is incredibly appreciated, and we look forward to delivering you amazing products out of this factory that we're going to truck from here across North America, into Canada, into South America, ultimately into Europe, and we're very much looking forward to doing that. We've also got suppliers here, our analysts and investors, and most importantly, our staff. So huge thank you to everyone. On the Tritium story, Tritium was founded over 20 years ago with the company's roots in solar racing and power electronics. And that micro business evolved from a very small startup to a scale up when the founders secured some funding to go about and develop a fast electric vehicle charger in 2012. That was the early days of the industry. The only people in that industry then were Tesla, who'd started building the Roadster in 2008. And I think Nissan was building its Leaf back in 2011. So this was the early days of the industry. There wasn't a lot of sales happening. Now, what we've seen since happen is the tipping point has been reached in 2020. Really just after the start of COVID, we saw it hit the top and it went right over the top. And since then, momentum has been absolutely huge. It's been unstoppable. And for many other businesses where they had a slowdown with COVID, Tritium had a supercharge with COVID. So we were very lucky. Often what you have in a crisis is a supercharge of innovative technology. And that's something that we saw happen for the company. Tritium's mission has always been the powering of transportation through renewable energy sources. And when the company started, this was an uphill battle. There were many significant global business interests that did stand to be very severely disrupted by this technology change. It's a fundamental shift. From the one hand, you've got oil fueling the internal combustion engine. On the other hand, electricity fueling a rechargeable battery. So What we've achieved is number 2 global market share outside of China for fast DC chargers. We're still the world's only fully liquid-cooled IP65 rated charger, and that makes a big difference in environments which are harsh because it means that you're fully sealed against the elements. And it's no surprise that that occurred in Australia. We get geckos, snakes, spiders, creepy crawlies. They climb in, they nest in there, they chew on the cables. So we had to create something that was fully sealed against the elements. And that's been really important in certain environments which are harsh. So countries like India with monsoonal rains, less so in the Nordics and those gentle environments, but that remains a competitive advantage for the company. So Tritium, really, we've caught the tiger by the tail. At this stage, all we have to do is hold on. We've latched on very tight, and where we're heading is to try and make number 1 market share globally. Now, I said before, our mission is to electrify transportation. Our vision is fast charging everywhere. And we've been very lucky in that vision that it happens to perfectly align with the vision of President Biden and his administration, because they've set out to do 2 very important things which will benefit this country. First, to electrify the highway network, which is really the lifeblood of trade and transport across the US. And secondly, to secure for the US a huge piece of these new industries that are going to lead and support this technology. And that is smart policy. We're going to see retail fuel sales decline. The internal combustion engine is going to become a thing of the past. Gas pumps are going to become obsolete. So the winners in this transition are going to be those countries which are designing and building the best electric cars, the best electric trucks. Andy, you're here somewhere. I know you're building some of them. The best electric buses, the best rechargeable batteries, and where Tritium comes into play, the best EV chargers. In Australia, I know the ambassador would agree that we're envious of the pace at which the US has passed laws, the bipartisan infrastructure law, the Inflation Reduction Act. Those laws dedicate billions of dollars towards climate change investments, working hand in hand with Buy America legislation that draws foreign businesses offshore to onshore, and it helps keep your businesses here onshore so they don't go off to cheap, low-cost labour locations off American shores. Now, lots of people may have different views about climate change. It can be very divisive. But from an economic perspective, the technology transition has happened. It's here. The choice has been made by the car OEMs, and America has made this very smart decision to be a powerhouse in this new economy, and that's what that legislation achieves. It's a strategic investment of your taxpayers' money. It creates new jobs in new industries. And these jobs are not just automated robots making things on a production line. You know, in Australia, I help make drones. They go on along a line. There's 2 people in the factory. Everything's automated. These jobs are a mixture of grassroots factory jobs, engineering jobs, test and cert specialists, quality jobs. They're jobs for high school graduates with 2 to 3 weeks training, and they're jobs for electrical engineers with a PhD. Tritium's putting down roots in this community. We're creating our biggest factory globally here in Lebanon, and we've got over 500 new jobs over the next 5 years. The factory that you're going to see shortly has 6 production lines. It's going to be able to produce up to 30,000 DC charge units per annum, which is huge. The Brisbane factory currently makes 5,000. So times that by 6, the scale here is absolutely phenomenal. The chargers that we manufacture here are going to be installed along highways in the US, at stores, workplaces. They're going to deliver on our vision of fast charging everywhere and making those long distances you want to travel in an EV as easy as filling up with gas. The chargers from here are also going to be exported to Europe, so to our customers like BP, Shell, Enel. I think we've got some of our team from Enel here today who are a great customer for us, an Italian utility with a massive presence here in the US. We look forward to helping our customers here navigate this new legislation and help them drive their business growth. In 2023, our 150 kilowatt that we're building here will be NEVI compliant for the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Funding, which is $5 billion of formula funding available for chargers which will be built right here. And that is going to help the White House administration with their goal of rolling out 500,000 EV chargers across the country. That type of bold policy making is going to catapult America into a global leadership position in what is a seismic technology shift. We could not be more excited to support this clean tech revolution right here in Lebanon. Americans will buy an EV when the cars are cheap and affordable and reliable, and they know that they can find a charger whenever they want one. We'll know at Tritium that our job's done when you don't have to think about where to charge and you don't have to think about how long it will take you to charge, and that's when our job's done. We're very grateful to be working with the people of Tennessee on this journey. We knew we'd made the right decision when we started to hire locally. The depth of the manufacturing talent here is absolutely phenomenal. We've got people out of the electronics industry, we have people coming out of automotive, we have people coming out of aerospace. And when the word of mouth started to spread, they brought in their friends, and suddenly we went from 10 staff to over 100 staff. Glenn, I think we're onboarding another 10 staff per week at this stage. And, I just have been absolutely blown away by the quality of the team. Many government agencies, departments and politicians throughout the state have also been wonderful supporters of Tritium in this startup of this facility. So we do really look forward to becoming just part of the fabric of this community, to start to interact with the universities, with the schools. I met somebody from Cumberland University before, Paul, and we're making those introductions here today as we speak. So look, overall, thank you to all of you for being here to help us celebrate today's milestone. We are very deeply appreciative of the support and the welcome for the Tritium business in all of the different capacities that each of you represent. Rest assured, we're going to be working incredibly hard to design, build, service, sell the world's best fast chargers, and to grow this business into a global powerhouse where we want to take number 1 market share. It's not far to go, we're at number 2. So we want to do that and take the local community on that journey with us. So without further ado, I will turn the stage over to the president of our Americas business, Mike Calise, and we're going to get the ribbon cutting ceremony started before the factory tours. So thank you all so much for being here.